bond market activities are tipped towards mid and long-dated papers. Meanwhile, the CBN, that's the Central Bank of Nigeria, is expected to release results of the bi-weekly retail SMIS auction results today. Chuka Nwachukwu, head of ALM and balance sheet management, joins me now for more market updates. Chuka, thank you so much. Pleasure to have you on the show. Let's get right to it. Bring us up to speed on trading market action at the different market segments, starting with the money market.
Okay, thank you, Esther. We'll start with the money market. This week has been largely been influenced by the activity on the money market as regards liquidity. The system opened in deficit of about 57 billion on Monday, and then it went on to as high as 87 billion on Wednesday. However, fact came in on yesterday on Thursday. Well over 750 billion was in circulation, and that has actually affected liquidity in the market. So I'll quickly take on to the T-bills market. T-bills market was actually more, the market was actually influenced by activity on the T-bills market. There was an NTB auction on Wednesday where about 263 billion was on offer, and then that's the exact amount that was sold. But the significant thing about it is that we saw upward movement at the stop rate, significantly so. We saw about 766 basis points movement on the longer end from 2.24 to 9.9%, and that has actually charted the course for activity on the T-bills market.
Well, what about the bond market? I know because you did put out a paper saying investors leaning towards the mid and long dated papers. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so also driven by activity at the money market with liquidity. So at the early stage of the week, we saw huge sell-off, especially at the shorter end, 2026 and 2028. This is because we were trying to create liquidity, in order to finance the activity. However, like I said earlier, fact came in on Thursday, and then we saw a bullish sentiment between Thursday and today. And so I believe that this trend will continue because, of course, the system is still quite liquid, and it will continue, especially in the early stage of next week.
If you see, this liquidity spilling into next week, what is the market expecting? Any more liquidity coming into the market, maturities, etc.?
There isn't maturity next week, but however, the fact funds will still be in the system next week, considering the fact that we don't see an aggressive trading throughout next week because of election purposes. So people obviously will be on the quiet side, sitting on the fence, watching what will happen at the end of the day. So this liquidity will continue probably till Tuesday.
Right. Now, for the CBN's bi-weekly retail SMIS auction, I know things are pretty much quiet at the FX market, but what are you expecting if the results are out already?
I haven't seen the results yet, but I think it's still going to hover around the same rates they have been offering. The I&E window maintained rates from yesterday, and it's largely been like this throughout the week. It's currently trading at 461.33, and I really don't see any more changes in that.
All right. How are things shaping up at the corporate bond market? What are you hearing? What are you seeing?
Corporate bond market, a couple of corporates have come in over the past 2 weeks. We've seen MTN, we've seen one other company. Like I said a few weeks ago, corporate bond, for corporate bond issuance to be really attractive, and if they really want people to invest in it, then they have to match the current NGM bond, which is trading around the 15.5, 15.6, 16% levels, at the longer end. So they really need to match it, especially if they want the bonds to be subscribed, heavily. So,
but do you see them doing that? Do you see that happening? What, in your opinion, what are the likely chances of that happening?
Yeah, I mean, you know, they're in the market, so they know what the market is trading at. So I pretty much so. I mean, whoever is coming in to invest in the corporate bond, we want a good return. And so if the return is not favorable to what is obtainable, you know, in the general market, and don't forget the NGM market, MGN bonds are much more liquid and much more attractive than the corporate bonds. So, you know, they have to match that in order for them to be able to make it.
Yeah, but I mean, they also have to raise money, and I suppose this is going to keep out the mid, small. We're only going to see the big hitters coming to the market. You just mentioned MTN. Even they have to match, you know, match market expectations. So is that a trend we could possibly see this year? Just, you know, the heavyweights coming to the market, and of course taking that pain to match market expectations.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they need to come into the market for obvious reasons. So if they really need to be competitive, they need to match what is seen in the market. I think that 15% would be a tall order, but again, they should look at the middle table bonds like 2028, currently trading around 14 levels. So I believe they should be able to match that as well.